questions here. Good morning, good morning. How are you? We are live now on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Thank you very much for being here. As you are getting in, say also hello. Tell us from where you are listening to us. Tell us your beautiful city. And Paula is just finishing the Photoshop. She's arriving in a few seconds. And today we have already some questions to ask. But I want to just to tell you what is the normal drill related here to the ladder of dance. Basically, we open for questions. It's a Q&A session where we will answer your questions about anything you want. It can be related to Kizomba, to salsa, to Semba, Tarraxinha, about the music, about the dance, about teaching skills, tips, a lot of things that can be related to this kind of question, but also more personal stuff. As me and Paula, we danced together already for 20 years and we are in a relationship for 15. It's a good space here to be able to answer to you some questions and to be able to create here a connection. Bom dia, Reclusa. Remember to show us your love by sharing this live with more people.
I will do it.
And you want to come closer to me?
Yes.
Good. So, bom dia, Reclusa.
Bom dia.
Good morning, Joanna. Rocklow in Poland sending hugs and greetings.
Oh, Rocklow.
Dzień dobry to
Rocklow.
Poland. So you have below that simple button just to share with more people. I have here on Instagram some of the questions. Oh, it's not here, all the questions. So let's start with this. Someone was asking what is in her mouth.
Oh my gosh.
Is Paula. About the story that we made on Instagram, that I'm playing with her because Paula have like a morning routine. Paula have a morning routine, and every time she's on that morning routine, I like to tease her. And I start talking to her and she cannot talk because she have the mouth full of something. So,
Oh my gosh.
do you want to talk about that?
Share, yeah. It's usually I do that is with coconut oil. It's like it's from Ayurveda medicine, and it says that when you do that after wake up, first you need to, how we can say, to scratch the tongue. It's with something that is special, is to clean the tongue. Then I drink my water, and then I do this with coconut oil during more or less 20 minutes. And is to do like, I don't know the name of this. Okay. I think the name is pulling oil, something like that. And it's good to clean your tongue and your mouth from toxic things that are not toxic, some things that you have while we sleep, where our body take off from it the bad things, yes, the things that are not good for our health. And then some of the things stay in the tongue. Then that's why it's good first to clean the tongue before drink the water. Then drink the water like not hot water, but a little bit hot water. And then I do my pulling oil with coconut oil. It's good for my health to clean my mouth from and my body from the bad things from that are there. And also, but this is not proved, that make the teeth more white. But this is not proved yet.
Bom dia, Bonifácio, Mr. Tufas.
Bom dia. Then it's this.
More things?
Yeah, it's just this. And Ricardo is all the time teasing with me because we are developing a way of communication that is quite interesting. For me, that is challenging. How can I speak with him like this? And he is developing the understanding. It's understanding me better.
Indeed. So, cantando, amigo. Let's go to the next question. we have here Mr. Daniel Aroditis with a more philosophical question asking, what is the meaning of life? Use your words. And the smile emoji. Good. You want to go?
Yeah, for me, life is a learning. And you have several etapas. You have several stages in your life. But now I'm on a stage that I know that life is a learning, and I need to enjoy everything, even the bad things. For sure, they have learnings. What are you doing? And it's amazing, even when you have things to do that you don't like it, I'm learning to enjoy it. Imagine one simple thing. I hate run, and today I was running during 15 minutes. Before this I was running, and it's like, instead of complaining all the time, I'm just enjoying what's happening and paying attention to what's happening to my body. Then that's why, if you told me this several years ago, I would say to you, you are crazy. No, it's not possible. But that's why I say life is a learning, and we need to enjoy all the stages and pick up the learnings. We are here, then we need to enjoy it as much as we can. Then I think life is learning.
Yeah, love. I totally agree. Of course, it's also one of the things. It's to try to seek and to find happiness. But I think more and more that one of the meanings of life is to serve others, because when you are able to serve others, you will be able to fulfill a lot of different accomplishments in your life by serving the others. And by consequence, that means that you are serving yourself also, and you are creating positive chains of supporting and being able also to use that good things that you are sharing with others to your own profit. So for me, serving others is something that is very important in the meaning of the life. And if everybody have this kind of mindset, we would live in a much better world.
Ricardo is always like this. It is like when he starts speaking, I remember, damn, that's true. That's another thing that o Félix estava a dar cabo de sofá. He's all the time, he remembers that things that, damn, I should remember that. It's true, serving the others. That's why the learnings.
And that's why we are together. It's yin and yang, we complement each other. And that is a good thing. You want to share something else?
No, it's like that.
I don't know why there are here more questions that I'm not being able now to find them, because it was 2 different boxes. But one of the questions was from Larissa, and she was asking how to improve the arms movement dancing solo. How to improve arm movements dancing solo.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that question, Larissa. One of the tips that I have is to keep the arms in the line of your wrist. No, wrist. Your waist. Wrist. No. Your waist. Keep the lines like, it's difficult to show like this. The thing is to keep the arms in this position. This is the best tip.
Above your waist,
yeah,
and lower your chest. So yeah, between these 2 parts here, Kuchi and Marufas.
Being like this, it serves, no, it fits in all kinds of dances. Even when you are doing, I don't know how to do hip hop, but even aerobics, your arms are like this. Even when you are running, imagine if you start running like this, don't fit, yeah, because the arms are a complement. The arms should help us in what we are doing. Then the best tip is to keep our arms in that line that Ricardo told, above a little bit or more or less in the line of the waist and down the chest. And then is in this position as a natural. First, don't think about moving the arms, because it will be fake. What connect you with the floor are the feet, not the arms. Then is a consequence. You are dancing because you are using the feet, and then by consequence your knees, by consequence your hip, and then your upper body. This, I think it fits for all the dances, yeah. And in ballet, of course, you go more into, because you need to control all your body. Is another kind of conscience, and you work more about that. But even though the arms should complement what you are doing with your feet, what you are doing with your body, then I think this is the best advice. Keep your arms, if you don't know what to do, keep your arms in that line. And this
yeah, from the question, it was really how it is possible to better control the arms when dancing solo. And then it's about dynamics and energies that I want to give you this tip. Larissa just arrived now. Paula answered your question now. So when we upload the video, you can push back and listen to her explanation.
Yeah.
I will add something that is related to dynamics. So one way to keep your arms more in control is to have the same energy of your stepping. So talking about Kizomba, if you move your arms at the same velocity that you move your feet, will allow you to find a line to work. So as you are stepping, the motion will be at the same time of your walking. And if you slow down your walking, you will slow down also your arms. So this is a possibility. But for example, if you do like fast footwork, if you move the arms at the same time, it will be not good. So the other tip is sometimes we need to stop the arms. For example, in Afro House fast footwork, you will see the arms very often stop to the side, because you will direct also the attention to one part of your body. Okay, so the tip that Paula gave, keep your arms between your waist and your chest, there, with your elbows trying not to be behind your body, so on your side of your body forward, and allow the movement of your bodies to be a complement of what you are doing with your feet. And as you will keep the arms on that line, naturally, it will be difficult to be with them stopped. Okay, so you will have a natural movement. And this is a good thing about Kizomba and social dancings and popular dances. There is not an only way of doing it. If you are working in a choreography, you will have choreographed arms. For example, Larissa, yesterday you attended a lesson of Kizomba men's styling at the ALC Kizomba and Semba Academy. Although it is men's styling, I have some ladies attending the lesson. It's true, because it's like general information to the body. As we were working in the final part of the lesson on the choreography, I gave you guidelines of what to do with the arms. But generally, when we are working about footwork, body movement, I don't tell you on purpose what to do with your arms, because I just tell you to don't allow them to be stretched. Keeping them on the top of your waist and below your chest, you will naturally start moving it, and you will find your own way. And this is something that is very positive for any dancer, to find your own way. Working in a social technique. When you go to choreographic technique, mainly if you will have more people dancing with you on a stage, the arms sharpness and cleanness will allow the general picture to be more beautiful. Okay, so if you are doing a solo, that's okay. Anything that you will do, you will be like a mirror to yourself, so that's okay. Good, nice. You move the place because I want to see the question. There is another question here from Albors, but I'm a little bit confused of his question. My dear people on Facebook, if you have questions, make sure that you write down. Hello, Sonam. How are you?
Hello.
And as you are getting in, please write down on the comments from where you are listening us, in a way that we can create here trades of world connection. I'm trying to find Tolkien to do this at the same time.
You want me to try to find?
It's here. So another question that we have from Albors is, what is your perspective on changing the height in Kizomba? When and how can we use it? Oh, thank you very much, Simon. It's true. We are made for each other.
Thank you.
In a few weeks, we will share again, because I think we just have it in Portuguese. I don't know your name yet. My name is Ricardo.
And my name is Paula.
Paula, okay? Paula and Ricardo from ALC. Because of my Linda Felipe. Maybe in 1 week or 2 weeks, we will do individual live streaming, in a way that Paula can share a little bit. Big kiss to India. Paula can share a little bit of her story, and I will share my story, because we have these lives in Portuguese, but I think we never made it in English. So we will do that in a way that we can share a little bit more of our perspective, our path, and how we met each other. Good. So Albert was asking this. I don't know if he's asking about the height or about the weight. Because if it is about the height, I don't understand how is this question directed. What is your perspective on changing the height in Kizomba? I think it's the weight. So I will answer that in terms of weight. Okay. So now you can move.
Yeah, thank you.
I like to, maybe because I'm almost engineer, a mechanical engineer. I was studying for that, and I love maths and physics, and but I stopped to be able to follow the dance career. Thank you very much, Sona. I like to look to body weight transfer in terms of percentage. Okay, so from 0 to 100%. When you are on 0% of body weight, you have the foot completely available. When you have 100% of body weight, you will have the entire weight of your body on that foot. And I also like to have like 110%. It means that you will be out of axis. Make sense? So 2 feet, 0 body weight, 100% of body weight, the other foot is free. Good. So when I walk in Kizomba, moving forward, the foot that moves forward will have 0%, or let's say 25% of body weight in the moment of hitting the floor. The body weight transfer will happen when I start moving the other foot. So imagine if I move my left, I have between 0 and 25% of weight forward and the rest of the weight back. When I start moving my right, by pressing the floor with my left, the left will get the 100% of weight, and the transition of the other foot will go forward without weight, keeping this motion forward. So this will allow me to be more centered, to be more grounded, and to be in control of my balance and movement. When we walk backwards, it will be the opposite. The foot that moves back will have the between 0 and 25% of weight, because we want to keep the projection forward as we have our partner in front of us. And this technique is the same for leaders or for followers, okay? Moving forward, the weight is more center back. Moving back, the weight is more center forward. So like this, we can keep a forward pressure connection to our partner in a way that we don't damage our partner balance, okay? Because we like to look also for 3 axes while we are dancing. Follower individual axis, leader individual axis, and the couple axis. Anything that we do, we cannot damage the couple axis and the partner axis, okay? So it's very important to keep that. Now, mastering this amount of body weight transfer, you can play a lot. For example, doing a jajão, that movement of forward and back. When I use Kizomba, Tarraxinha, or Kizomba more like slow tempo, more Gerozuk style, my body weight transfer in a jajão, it's much smaller. I will do the bending on the knees, but my axis will stay more or less the same place. When I do a jajão in a Kizomba more classic style or a Semba, I will allow more body weight transfer, because this is something that we like to use as a visual image for movement. In Gerozuk Tarraxinha, the movement will be more here, okay? In Semba and classic Kizomba, the movement will be more outside. So when you use more your torso to show the body weight transition, you will need to have more body weight transfer. When you want to allocate your movement more to your hip, to your bunda, it will be better to be more inside movement, and you want to lose 12 kilos. And we need to allow ourselves to don't transfer so much the weight. So Albert, I hope that this could answer you. We have here something from Joanna from Poland, and she's saying on Facebook, once I was on the My Summer Bootcamp a few years ago, Ricardo played some amazing songs on the beach, which originally is Sting song, but has been rearranged more Angolan, both musicality and in terms of lyrics. Could you please remind me full title of the song? In my explanation is clear enough, perfectly clear enough. I love that song. I will play it here, but there is something. I will share the name, but I think I found it on SoundCloud. It's an artist. Let me see here. So this is on the leading and following exercise. This is the song. And the name of the song is Remix Sting. And it's from Next. It's called Next. And you can find it, I think, in SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com. Okay. And it's cool because it starts with the guitar of that music of Sting. Englishman in New York is singing English, but then forward change to Portuguese and change the lyric.
It's beautiful.
So, this is the song, correct, Joanna? Let me know.
And then Philip is saying
a pergunta da altura seria naqueles casos de dançar Kizomba aos saltinhos, usar os joelhos para controlar a montanha russa na passada. Ok, pode ser. So one of the possibilities about Albor's question that Philippe here is suggesting is about the changing of height when you are walking. Maybe that is a possibility. So for example, Cape Verdean style, it's difficult to call it Cape Verdean style, but there are a lot of Cape Verdeans that their way of dancing is more bounced. For example, Zé Barbosa, na passada, the way that he dances, use more depending on both knees. And we cannot say that is incorrect. It's his style. And once again, picking up at the beginning of this conversation, as it is a popular dance, almost everything is available to do.
Oh.
For example, I myself decrease my height a little in some situations to let the follow accentuate Erginga. Oh, okay, he's explaining. It's not about that, Philippe, but it's a good point of view. Can you place again the question?
Oh, you're good.
As mensagens. You're welcome, Joanna. So he's saying height. So he was talking about height, not weight. For example, I myself decrease my height a little in some situations to let the follow accentuate her ginga. For example, we have the rules and we have the exceptions. To be able to do exceptions, we need to have rules, and in the way that we have rules, we can create exceptions. There are moments, for example, in Tarraxinha, that we can create more like a compressed movement, and we can low down our height in a way that we can be more close to her. But for me personally, there is a topic that is the picture of the dance. So I like to call it the picture of the dance. And that means that in anything that you are doing, if someone take you a picture, if you will like how it looks, okay, so the aesthetic of your dancing, it will be what we call the picture of the dance. And sometimes when we try to adapt our height to the other person, it will damage our picture, and even worse, it will create uncomfortable situation to us in terms of body feeling. And this is for leaders and for followers what I'm sharing, and it's a perspective and a point of view. I think, and I truly believe, that we should adapt to the person that we are dancing with, but in terms of framing and points of contact, not in terms of how we will bend our knees or how we will bend our upper body to be more in connection with our partner, damaging our posture. Make sense, Albert? So I believe that is possible, changing arm position, changing distance position to be able to be comfortable for both, and without damaging our individual posture and our individual comfort. Good. So this kind of adaptation is possible, and it's a must do in our perspective, but not putting in cause if it will be comfortable for us at the end. Okay. So if you want in a certain period to adapt for a certain movement that you want to do, that is perfect. But as a general adaptation of your height, your balance, your comfortable position, I don't advise that. Okay, because dancing 10 seconds in a position that is not comfortable, it's one thing. Dancing 3 songs, it's a complete song, or 2 or 3 songs, it's a completely different thing. Okay, so in my perspective, adapting, yes, but without damaging your comfortable position and your picture of dance. Anything?
I agree completely. Not I agree. I agree completely with you.
Good. That's a good thing. If you have more questions, write down them. Thank you very much. They are really cool questions that are appearing. Thank you, Albert. Each week you appear with a really cool question. Thank you for your participation. And he's saying, yes, it makes sense. So hope it can really be useful for you. Let us know if you have more questions. Meanwhile, I want to do here a pre-announce. Okay. Next Saturday, so today is the 10th. Next Saturday, the 17th, at this hour, we will announce a bomb. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Exactly. So during these moments, we are feeling and we are trying to understand what are the biggest needs in terms of Kizomba teachers. And when I talk Kizomba teachers, is generally the Kizomba umbrella. Urban Kiz, Fusion, Tarraxo, any style that you are doing, because still I consider that is like a variation from Kizomba. If Kizomba didn't exist, it would not be possible to exist Urban Kiz or Kizomba Fusion or whatever. Can be dances completely different, but have a background on that. And some people related to Urban Kiz like Ena and Moon consider that nowadays Urban Kiz don't use Kizomba basics techniques to be able to learn Urban Kiz. One of the creators and the pioneers, that is Curtis, he still believe, and we have like an interview with him, he still believe that in order to dance good Urban Kiz, you should have like a background of Kizomba, because it was his process. But this dance is evolving also, of course, and there are some trends like Ena and Moon, that they develop techniques from basics to Urban Kiz, and they consider that, at least this was what I understood, they consider that a student don't need to learn Kizomba basics in a way to learn Urban Kiz basics. So perspectives, directions, everything is okay, everything is cool. But taking that in consideration, we have been doing a lot of research, and research on us, research with the KTT students that we have, the Kizomba teachers training, asking surveys to understand what are the needs. So we decided to create something that will happen soon, the announcement, and we are still writing in the small details. So next Saturday, during the Leather of Dance, we will announce what we are preparing for you. And it's mainly for teachers, but also for dancers. It's for teachers that already teach, or people that want to teach one day. But people that don't want to teach, they will collect a lot of good information in that event that we are preparing, okay? And something that is related to that, I made this question yesterday on the car talks that I do in my profile on Instagram, that how much you consider that a good teacher should be a good dancer. Okay, and I bring this question here also to the audience, and make sure that you write down on the comments your perspective in a way that it's cool for us to know your opinion, because there are amazing teachers that they are not so good dancers. Okay, there are amazing dancers that they are not good teachers for sure. Loading. And there are those that are good in both fields, and there are those that are bad in both fields. So everything is possible. For example,
English teacher
Leon. So I remember, for example, ballet teachers. There are a lot of ballet teachers, mainly the older ones, the ones that already had a career on ballet. They were dancers, they were teachers, and they reach a point that their body it's not able anymore physically to reproduce the movements. To reproduce the movements, but they have so much knowledge and so much understanding of technique that they are able to teach a lesson without demonstrating nothing. But usually they have an assistant to be able to show how to do the movement properly. Make sense this to you? So although in ballet lessons you will have the master teacher that will not, it's no longer a good dancer because the body don't allow, usually they have an assistant to show how to do properly. So here we are combining the both words. Good teaching or amazing teaching skills in terms of pedagogy, technique, communication, dealing with human resources. So a lot of different topics that you need to improve as a teacher. And as the body doesn't allow to reproduce the movements in the proper way, they collect a tool that is an assistance to show how to do it properly. In our field of social dances, Kizomba, salsa, bachata, semba, tango, gafieira, forró, cha-cha-cha. So all the social dances, mainly in couple, it's not yet, at least, common to happen that. For example, you have Eddie Torres, the big father, the Mambo King, that of course is like in an advanced age, he still danced like really good. He's an amazing example dancing, but he makes sure that in almost all the lessons he have an assistant, because also as a teacher you need to allow yourself to have time to watch your students. If you are all the time reproducing, it will be difficult to understand what are their needs, and by consequence to have tools to help them to improve. So when you have an assistant, it's also a good way to have somebody to be a role model, and you as a master teacher, you can look around and try to understand what are the biggest needs and give proper tips. But this, we are talking about some exceptions. Most of us, we don't have assistants. So we need to teach, exemplify, be a role model, everything.
And see the students.
So let me know,
Larissa,
your opinion.
Yeah, Larissa
is saying, I think good teachers should be good dancers as well, but of course they need to be able to teach as well. Because let me ask you this question in a situation that you can choose just one. Okay, write down on the comments. Option 1.
For everybody.
For everybody, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Option 1, amazing dancer, bad teacher. Option 1, amazing dancer, bad teacher. Option 2, amazing teacher, but bad dancer. Okay, so someone that know properly how to teach the technique, but his movement is not good. So if you can choose only between one of them, which one is the one that you choose? Option 1 or option 2? Option 1, amazing dancer, bad teacher. Option 2, amazing teacher, bad dancer. Write down on the comments. We have here somebody saying, I want to learn salsa, which I always love too. So where are you from? Zumba dance, Ashish Lula. India, I can imagine.
Yeah.
It seems like beautiful name. India have beautiful names. So you can find a lot of different possibilities in India. If you are in India, search for Sonali. Okay, Sonali is an amazing salsa teacher. Or if you want, you can join also our salsa lessons.
Option 2, if you teach. Option 1, if you do not teach.
So Philippe is saying option 2, that is amazing teacher, and bad dancer. Option 1, if you do not teach. It makes sense, because when you are a teacher or when you have advanced skills about technique, you don't need so much explanation, because by visualization you can learn. Okay, but when you are not in a position that you have good skills to learn, and you don't have good skills of technique, you need someone to tell you all the tiny details. So some people, for example, in Africa, the common way of learning is by visualization. So you need to have good example. You will learn with your grandmother, with your aunts, with your father, by visualizing. They will not teach you, you need to move 25% of your weight to the left and moving forward in this direction. Use the diagonal 45 degrees. So they don't have this technical information. And they don't need. It's an amazing way of learning, and it's a process. But here in Europe, for example, we are more used to go to schemes, to numbers, to directions, to all of this stuff. So maybe in this way, it will be better to have somebody that have good skills. Of course, the best is to have both together.
We have here Valia that she say, as a student, I prefer amazing teacher, of course. Then you have I agree with Albert. He's saying in the beginning, amazing teacher for advanced levels, being a good dancer is also important, I think. I agree completely with Albert. We had an experience, I will not say with who, but we were in a festival, we were teaching, but also we grabbed that opportunity that we have when you have international teachers of salsa. And we went to a workshop that we wanted a lot to go, but we were disappointed by the pedagogic that was not existing there. But as we are experienced dancers, we were able to catch the sequence, the step, the philosophy behind the step. We were able to do it because we are experienced dancer. But pedagogically, it was very bad workshop because the teachers were just doing the steps without any explanations. As we knew, we were paying attention, and that was very useful for us. And because we like a lot the way they dance. But this is the proof of I agree with Albert that we is saying. Experienced dancers, maybe it's important. And for me, I need to have a reference. I remember in our beginning when we were with our master Ernesto Costa, and he was doing choreographies for shows, not for learning, for social, but for shows. And he was doing how the ladies, us as ladies should do. But for me, it was missing something. He is an amazing teacher, an amazing dancer. But even though I needed the reference of a woman doing that movement, because it's completely different. That's why for me, it's very important. As I'm experienced to dance, I'm an experienced dancer. I need a very good dancer to have as a reference.
Saying here, a warm props to Like My Dance online. I don't know if it is Leon Rose or Mark Anthony. If there is any salsa dancer around, please go to Like My Dance online. This will be a salsa video competition. And with 90 seconds video, you can win 1,000 euros. Okay. So
yeah,
you will use that process to improve your dancing, to have a lot of fun, to improve your social media, because you will have a product to deliver on your social media. And the worst thing that can happen to you is don't win nothing. And the best is to win 1,000 euros. Okay, so make sure that you give a look, Like My Dance online, and we will be part of that judges also. And we have been like improving a lot our skills in video editing and recording. So make sure that you see our videos also. So Philippe is sharing his view. Teaching is not giving classes, is a commitment, signed with a community, a culture, local or not, other elements and ourselves. If we are not learning the whys, we will only mirror. Beautiful and good perspective.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Philip, for your insight. Then we have the English teacher, Leon. You need to be a good dancer to be a good teacher. If you are a good dancer and a bad teacher, then you need to find another teacher. That is true. That is true. And something that is important also to know, to share, is that nobody learned or nobody born with all the learnings. I can tell you, my first teaching was so bad. Even today, looking back, I don't know how people pay to do lessons with me.
It was
because I was really bad.
The finishing, because it was saying, we will only mirror the knowledge of others.
Exactly. But something that is interesting, as each one of us, we need to find our
way, our path,
our way of doing the things. Okay. And one of the ways, it's precisely mirroring. So Philippe, in my perspective, it's okay if you are starting, and the best way to learn is to try to copy. So when you find someone or something that you connect, that you relate, this is a good way of learning. Try to copy that process, try to copy that person, try to be like that because you like the way or you like the results that that person had. It's the same thing that you do, for example, in marketing. If you have tools, structures that work, you will imitate it because it works. It happened the same in physics, in chemistry, in all the fields in the world. When something works, it's normal that will start being reproduced by others. So before you start trying to invent the pólvora, I don't know how to say it, to invent your own stuff, maybe it's good to try to study and try to mirror and copy something that already exists and it works. And with the time, when you get good on that, you will be able to find your own personality. You will be able to find your own directions already with a good foundation. So that's why you go to school, to university, you will go to professional courses, you will attend lectures to be able to feed with your body, your brain, your knowledge with things that people already done and it worked. And in somehow you connected. And after that, after you collect all that information, you start reproducing and you start finding your own direction. So in social dances, sometimes it's difficult that because of the question that we already talked, that are egos. People have difficulty and the ability enough to say, look, I learned from that person, I learned from this direction, and now I'm trying to find my direction. 2 or 3 fast examples. Every time I have the opportunity, I say, Pechu was my master in Kizomba. I start with him. A lot of people sometimes try to say, you are much better than Pechu teaching. You are much better than Pechu dancing. In my eyes, I will never be. I have this respect to that person. And for sure, I went in a direction. And what I do as a dancer and as a teacher nowadays, it's completely different from Pechu, and good that it is. But I still have some things there because of him. And he was my point of starting. It was with him that I learned the first names. It was with him that I learned the first moves directed to lesson. The first structure, really rudimentary, really basic. It was with him. Things that I still use nowadays. I still call cavalinho, basic 2, saída. And he was the one that created. Another example is my master also that Paulo also shared, that is Ernesto. And a good example from the other perspective, Felicien, for example, from Felicien Isabel, yesterday I talked about that. He was humble enough to publicly post something saying that he admired our work, that he respects our work, and in somehow he was highly influenced by the things that we made when he was starting. And even nowadays, he started being inspired by us. And nowadays, we are inspired by them. So this is a cycle. When we start, they were not there. So when they start, we were there already. So they were influenced naturally. And now we are able to be influenced and inspired by the things that they do. And we will not be less artists or less professional because of that. So this kind of exchange is so important. So being humble in that point will allow you to keep learning. And I forgot why I was talking about this.
Yeah, because of Philip, because of learning in the beginning. It's yeah, but just
it was about mirroring and copying.
Yeah. But another thing, Philip is saying here that yes, we need to start from somewhere. I did that, and I'm the reflex of you, Nuno, Miguel, Curtis, etc., etc. But after, to be a good teacher, we need to go deeper. Of course, Ricardo just do an answer, just one option or one or the other. Yes, it's like because
we are finding the solution to that.
Because
and next Saturday we'll present the solution to that.
And because is of course a good teacher need to be, or a teacher, a good dancer, a dancer teacher should be good teaching in the pedagogic, but also a good dancer to be a good reference. There's several things characterize a good teacher. One thing also, when we start, and you are saying that, Philip, because when you start with the Kizomba, you were for sure already experienced dancer, or you were used to work about movement, body movement, because when you are really in the beginning, you don't have space in your mind to think about everything, about steps, about movement, about it's completely, it's too much information. Like in our lessons in the beginning, the beginners, like people here in Portugal, when they start dancing, usually they are not used to dance at all. They are not at all experienced dancers. Then we need to go step by step. And for you to know, we just do steps without body movement. Then in this case, if you just teach steps, because they don't have space in their brain,
there is a progression
to work about to work about body movement, then you need to go step by step and let him. You don't need to be a very good dancer in this case in the beginning, because you should be a very good teacher to pass to him how he can walk in place, how he can change his weight without the ginga in the beginning. Yes, and that's a thing that I have. And one more thing. Which teacher do you remember for sure? It's your first teacher when you are in school. I remember my first teacher when I was in the school, not dance, the school, primary school, elementary school. I remember his name. I remember how he was, his face, and it was my first teacher that he taught me the basic things, how to read the letters, how to read, how to do a sentence, how to do all the basics, yes, and the others I don't remember so much. And the first teacher, it's a very important teacher.
English teacher Leon also saying a good teacher needs to be able to explain and identify your weakness, and a dancer to show your connection and strength.
Correction.
Oh, and the dancer to show your correction and strength. It's true. It's true. Albers. In Kizomba scene, having a good teacher is so important, because you cannot learn much just by watching great dancers, because Kizomba is more about intention instead of visualization, as you always say. Exactly. So many things that are happening while you are dancing that you cannot see them. You just see like the complete result. And this is one of the beauties about Kizomba, and one of the things that make it more difficult. Like, I like to use the comparison for salsa dancers between Cuban salsa and LA style. So in Cuban salsa, so many things are happening in your body that you cannot understand, because you will find a lot of intention. But LA style, it's everything more sharp lines. So it's something that I like to compare between Kizomba and urban keys, because in urban keys, you have space to see the lines. It's part of the technique to be things more straight. So easily you will understand with your eyes. In Kizomba, sometimes you don't understand what is happening there. You like, it makes sense, but you don't understand. Larissa is saying, Larissa, good dancer, good teacher, and good person.
And you have Philip, yes, exactly, from the teacher from the elementary. Ana Mo tinha 1,74 m e parecia militar. Aprendi a tua voada sem pestanejar. E as reguladas que eu levei com a cana na cabeça e sei até hoje as preposições de cor e salteado.
Different times.
Yeah.
That was an amazing talk today.
Yeah, I love it.
This letter of dance. Thank you very much for being that side. And it will be available to watch and for you to share also with your friends. If you think that there was some content that can be interest for a friend of yours, make sure that you share with it. And remember, next Saturday, we will drop the bomb. We will announce a great thing that we are preparing with a lot of love.
Yes, Larissa, the character, of course, is a completely pack, and that is very, very important. Complete pack. Thank you.
Just one last one here from Joanna. I wonder if the Portuguese from Portugal different a lot from the Brazilian one. Differs a lot from Brazilian one. I'm considered to learn your language, which is why it's interesting for me. Usually, the example that we use is that Brazilian Portuguese, it's like Portuguese from Portugal with sugar. It's sweeter. Okay, yeah. It's more synced. So we can understand each other, but the problem is the slang. Okay, when Brazilians talk in slang, it's more difficult for Portuguese. And when Portuguese talk too fast and with accent more, they don't understand. They need subtitles to understand us. Okay, almost like the difference between I think like in Spanish you have different idioms from Cuba, from Latin America, different
ways of saying the same language.
So you might, even in Spain, if you go to south of Spain, it will be difficult to understand them because they speak too fast. If you go to the north in Galicia, their Spanish is also a little bit different.
Even the English you have in
American
England,
English and English from UK.
Es como el venezolano y el español, claro.
Exactamente, por supuesto. So
we have here just a sharing of Albert. My first teacher was my friend, terrible teacher, terrible dancer, but we had a lot of fun.
Exactly. That is also a good thing. So you bring good memories from that. It's not about the result, but about the experience.
Yeah.
And this is something that we try in all the KTT groups that we start. This is the first thing. Understand what are the goals of your students. And remember that most of them are not there to learn to become professional dancers. They want to have fun. They want to meet new people. So don't forget the social experience that you are delivering to your students. Okay, that's it for today. Next Saturday, we will announce what will happen soon and see you during the week. You know that we are very active, more lives, more content, more videos, more material, more carousels, all that stuff. Share with your friends, and thank you very much for being that side and your support. Beijinhos, beijinhos.